Hello and welcome to a very different video for the Boro Breakdown YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be guiding you through some players to target and some players to avoid for GAFFR, the Championship Fantasy League website. Now, if you haven't played GAFFR before, I would highly recommend it. It is like Fantasy Premier League, but of course the Championship equivalent. There's more chips, more chaos, and more fun. So if you're a fan of FPL like myself, if you're a Championship fan, or if you're a Boro fan, I would definitely get involved. The link to register and create your team for GAFFR will be below. So my number one recommended player to target from a Middlesbrough persuasion is Ryan Giles. He's listed as a defender, 6 million, and listen, I could not recommend him high enough. Only 3 players created more big chances than Giles' 16 last season. He was the top rank for expected assists per 90 with 0.30, and he got 10 assists in total. He's already started pre-season incredibly well. He got 3 assists against Morecambe, and granted that is a different level to the Championship and a much inferior level to the Championship, but there's no doubt that Ryan Giles will deliver the assists next season. Now, there is a big question mark over who Boro are actually going to play up front. At present, we only have Josh Coburn and Duncan Watmore, but I have no doubts that we will bring in strikers, and you will see Ryan Giles popping up with those assists. We're spinning it to the opposite side, the right wing back. Everybody knows him by now, Isaiah Jones. He's listed as a defender, 6.5 million in GAFFR. 13 big chances created for Middlesbrough last season. 8 assists, and it really should have been more. There were a few own goals that he made happen. Of course, they don't count for assists, but I think that just goes to show how creative Jones is, how much of a threat he is. And he did score against Marseille in our last pre-season friendly before the season kicks off this weekend, and I would expect him to get a couple of goals this season on top of the assists that he got last campaign. A really big player for us, really important, crucially, absolutely nailed right now as I'm recording this. There's no competition for Isaiah Jones, although that will change if Tommy Smith comes through the door, but Jones will be the first choice right wing back, no doubt. And yeah, with him and Giles, I'll be interested to see who people pick out of them two. Obviously, Giles is 0.5 cheaper, but Jones is still a great value pickup for any manager on GAFFR. Moving on to midfield now, and Boro's top scorer last season was the big tree, Matt Crooks. He got 11 goals and 13 assists in all competitions, but 10 goals in the Championship. He's one of those players that is going to get you goals. And he's not necessarily creative. He's not somebody that's going to create a shed load of chances, but he is going to pop up with goals more often than not. I expect him to have a good season on the goal scoring front as he did last campaign. Again, one of the biggest qualities of a GAFFR pick is, are they nailed? And Matt Crooks is. Right now, we don't have competition for him in that right centre mid position. I do expect that, much like right wing back, to change. But Matt Crooks is a great value pickup in midfield. I think I had him last season and he did incredibly well for me. The only drawback with Crooks is that he does love a yellow card. Chris Wilder has mentioned his discipline. That does need to improve. He did get suspended last season for picking up far too many. So that's one con of Matt Crooks, but as I said, he's going to get you goals. A little bit of a wild card mention here for a recommendation. I've gone for Riley McGree. He's listed as a midfielder, of course, 6 million on GAFFR. And the reason why I put him in as a little bit of a wild card is because his position in the team and his chances next season much depend on Marcus Tavernier and his future at the club. If Tav leaves for Bournemouth or any other team outside of the Championship, then Riley McGree will take that left centre mid position. Expected assists per 90 was 0.12 last season, which was not that far off Tavernier on 0.16. 0.4 key passes per 90, the same as Tavernier, 1.73 shots per 90, which is 8th ranked in the league. He is a creative influence. He is probably going to pop up with a goal or two next season. If he starts more often, I expect him to get goal contributions. But the thing that I've noticed with Riley McGree, much like with Matt Crooks, is he does like a yellow card. He's got a little bit of aggression in his game, and I swear every time he comes on, he gives away a foul and gets booked for it. But I think there's a lot of reward in Riley McGree. I think he could have a very good season for Middlesbrough. So if you're looking for a little bit of a wild card, a little bit of a differential, go for Riley McGree. Moving on to players to avoid. This was difficult because the two players that I've got in this category I would actually recommend, but circumstances mean that I just can't right now. The first player is Paddy McNair, listed as a defender at 6.5. I had him in my team last season and he did very well for me. However, he's suspended for the first game after he was red carded against Preston in the last game of last season. And the thing with Paddy McNair, even if he is available, there are big question marks over who plays that right centre-back position. And consequently, where does Paddy McNair play? Because if Anthony Dijksteel gets that right centre-back role, then McNair's not in the team. Although he could play left centre-back, that is an option. But whilst there's a lot of question marks over does Paddy McNair play, and if so, where does he play, I would kind of leave him for now. Although once he's in the team and once he's nailed, I would definitely look to bring him in because he is our penalty taker, or at least was last season. So an interesting little situation there for Paddy McNair. But as I said, if he plays, I would recommend him. But right now, I just can't. And finally, a player that I don't really want to put in this players to avoid category, but Marcus Tavernier. And the reason why I've got him in there is because he's linked very heavily with a move to the Premier League, and Bournemouth have tabled a bid. They're probably going to come in with another one, so basically his future is up in the air. As I mentioned, if he does leave, Riley McGree would be a fantastic differential. And to be fair, if Marcus Tavernier does stay, I couldn't recommend him highly enough because I think he's going to have a very good season. Next season, he registered his best campaign in terms of goals and assists. Last campaign with 5 goals and 4 assists. Still not great for what you want from a midfielder, but he is developing, he is growing, he is improving. So for now, just because of the circumstances and the transfer speculation over him, I would avoid. Chris Wilder did mention in a fans Q&A on Monday night that he expects him to train as normal and play against West Brom on Saturday. But just for now, whilst his future is very much uncertain, I would avoid Marcus Tavernier. That's it for my players to recommend and players to avoid, and my little wildcard differential mentioned there with Riley McGree. If you play GAFFR, let us know in the comments. Do you enjoy it? What's your feedback? I'm sure the guys at GAFFR would appreciate that a lot. Make sure that you subscribe to our video, leave a comment, leave a like, click the notification button so you get informed when we do post a video, and we'll see you next time.